Happy New Year, everybody. Sorry for the break. Had to spend time with friends and family and kind of step back from coding over the holidays. Let my mind kind of refresh. But I'm back now, and I'm going to get this next tutorial up to get this show on the road. So, I hope everybody had a great holiday break, by the way. And hope you were able to give the gift of giving. Does that even mean anything? Anyway, hope you guys had a sweet one. Hope it was rad. Okay, I'm just going to get right into this. Where we left off last, I will show you, is right here. We basically have these two objects, and I can click this button to damage the corresponding object. They have this little health meter here. And what's neat about this is it's done via inheritance. So we'll look at this player object first here. They have a script called player, but if you go over to player, you'll see that there's nothing in it because it's inheriting from person. So enemy and player both have basic health functionality with zero code. They don't need code because it's all done here in person. Now, real quick, I did discover that I did something unnecessary. So you can actually, without specifying game object, you can just say, hey, it's going to be an image type, and just slap that sucker right in there. So if you've been following along, go ahead and do this just because you can delete that, and you can delete this, and you can simply do public, not sure why I did that, capital P. You can do public image health bar, cuts down a little bit of code. Come in here, it's going to need to reset, it's going to change the name. So now we just have health bar and then none, and see it says image here. So I can just click and drag this object, bink, and it just, you see that? It's like, oh, this is an image type. So you don't have to do the gameObject.get. So now it'll still work. Well, let me do enemy real quick, none image. And now if I click play, now everything works, and I removed 2 lines of code. So that's neat. So my bad for that last time, so hopefully that's cleared up. Public image health bar, health equals max health, which is what we have set here under this max health variable. Sorry if I'm going fast, I'm just kind of recapping. So this is where we left off. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to take a look at overriding methods, and we're going to do this to destroy, to basically kill our player and our enemy. And then if I have time, we're also going to get into properties to help automate, to help continue automating this health and death process. So yeah, so this is how we're going to do death. Well, first of all, let me just show you right now what happens if you don't have any kind of death handling. We get all the way down here to 0, and then nothing happens, and then I can just click forever, and I'm clicking and clicking and clicking, and so their health's probably like negative 100 now. That's not what we want. We want it to go to 0, and the player dies. So that means that after every time we deal damage, we need to check, right? We need to see, hey, now that we've done damage, if you've gone below 0, I think we need to kill you. So this is how we're going to do that. We are going to simply throw in a quick if statement right in here. Now I like white space, so as you can see, it makes things easier to read. So we're just going to do really basic stuff here. If health is less than or equal to 0, that means they're dead. Then we're going to, let's just do this, kill. Okay, and generate a method stub for that. And all we're going to do here is to start off is just to simple destroy this object, and that's the most basic. Okay, so let's go ahead and test this. Let me test over here because he has less health. Bink, gone. Oops, I didn't mean to double click that. And then so the enemy's gone, and then we get to 0 and the player's dead. So that worked. Great, so now we can kill our players. We simply check if their health is less than or equal to 0, and then we kill them. Now, let's say that you don't want the player to just disappear forever. You want them to, like, respawn. That's, you know, or maybe, like, I don't know, anything. You know your game. You know what you're trying to make. When a player dies, what happens? But you don't want to completely rewrite the thing, right? So this is pretty simple. You need to, first of all, make it public or protected. Protected. I like to make these kind of things public just because unless you're going to do modding or something and have other people access your code, public's usually safe if you test and are careful. So public, and we actually want to add this virtual keyword to it, identifier I think it's called, I forget now. And this keyword just simply allows you to override the method. If you don't do virtual, you cannot basically override it. And overriding is like my base object, being person, has a method, and then my object that's inheriting, which is say player, wants to go ahead and rewrite the method. Right? We don't want to do any of that stuff. We want to change it. So now that we have a public virtual void kill, what we can do in player is simply say public. I believe the access modifier has to be the same. I could be wrong, but I think if you override like a public method, it also needs to be public. You can't make a public a private by overriding. Now I could be wrong with that, but I'm fairly certain. And then we add this override keyword, and so it kind of like replaces that virtual, like now it's overridden. And then we need to have the exact same return type. And then see right here, it's like, oh hey, there's a virtual method down in there, so it must be what you want to override because it's the only one. Correct. So what it does here, this is Visual Studio does this automatically. It throws in base.kill. Base is referring to the base class. So player is our inheriting class, our top level class, and our base class is person. So if currently this changes nothing. Because what's going to happen is when the player gets to 0, it's going to call kill, which because we've overridden person's kill, it's going to call this kill instead, which of course is then just going to call person's kill anyway. So that's not really what we want. Now we could leave this if we simply wanted to just include functionality. So let's go ahead and do that actually. Let's leave this here. That way the player still is destroyed, but now we want to add something. Like let's just do it to keep it simple. Let's just do a debug.log. And say a player has died in all caps. Okay, so now nothing changes except for we're just also going to see this. So this might be a good time for you to, excuse me, queue an INumerate. Oh, excuse me, queue a coroutine to start the respawn process. All right, or anything like that. You know, trigger a timer, a boolean because the player is dead. You can put that all in here. So let's go ahead and test this, please. Alright, so if we do damage enemy, you can see they just die and nothing appeared, no debug statement. But if I come over here and I kill off the player, boom, a player has died. So notice that I didn't really change that much. I basically just overwrote it and it's still calling that base functionality. So there you go. That's it. That's overriding. You can do this again too, I believe. If you inherit from player, I believe you can still do public override kill, and then it will do the topmost level. I think I've actually never tried that. So if that doesn't work, I apologize for wasting the time you spent trying to do that. So, alrighty. So I'm looking good on time. So I'm gonna try to sneak in properties here real quick. So what's a property? A property is kind of like a hybrid between a method and a member. With a member or a variable, you can only do very limited things, like remove it. Like you can make it null. If it's an integer, you can decrease it or increase it. If it's a string, those are immutable, so you can really only replace it, right? With a property, you're going to handle that same set of data. It's going to be an integer, but you're going to be able to also wrap some functionality around it, like say, let's say you had a score in your game. And every single time somebody kills something, it updates that score, but then if the score gets to, say, 100, you win. Well, you could actually put that check right inside the property, so every single time you said, like, score equal or plus equals 10, as soon as it got to 100, it would just, boom, it would just win the game, or however you wanted to do it. So we're going to do something very, very similar to that. We're going to use it to, basically, in our health, so that when the player takes damage, the property automatically checks to see if the object is below 0, and then just call the kill method like that, so we never have to deal with it. So all we need to do to change this and to follow some style guide, we're going to do that as a lowercase, and then we're going to add a new public, and we're going to leave health as a private. We're going to do public int and then capital H health. Okay. So all this stuff's still going to work, but it's going to reference this property instead. So now remember, so this would be a variable, right? And then if you were to do the parentheses and the curly braces, that would be a method. But in this case, we're just going to do curly braces, no parentheses, and this denotes that it's a property. Couple cool things you can do with a property. You can do get, set, and that is just the getters and setters. Okay, so this would just basically be, you could say health equals 10, and it would call set and automatically make health 10. And then if you called get, like basically saying like x equals health, then x is going to equal 10 because you set it. Okay, but what you can also do is you can throw the private keyword here, and this would mean that you can only change health if you're within this class, but anybody can get it. And you can throw access modifiers in there all you want. It's pretty cool. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to change what happens when you call get and set. Whoopsies. What am I doing here? So get, and we're going to do more curly braces. I'm confusing my editor like really bad. Just start over. There we go. Sorry about that. So we're going to do get and then curly braces. And when instead of returning this, what we actually want to do is we want to say return our lowercase health, because that's that's our actual value that we're kind of protecting. It's private here. So now it's going to return health. So if you say x equals health, x equals capital H health, x will actually equal lowercase health. So that's cool, that's all well and good, but what we really want to do here is modify what happens when you say health minus equals or health plus equals or just health equals. So very simply, it's going to be lowercase health equals, and then there's this keyword value. And value is going to be whatever you sent to the property. So if you were to say capital H health, okay, equals 10, then lowercase health is going to equal 10 because value will be 10. Now, a tricky little thing here, if you were to say let's say lowercase health was 20, and then you said health minus equals 5, value will not be 5 because you decremented it. It's minus equals. Value will be the return of the math, the whatever it's called, the difference. So it will be 15 to be clear. Not 5. So I hope that made sense. I think I totally just said that like it was a different language. Anyway, so we're going to do health equals value. And then now this will work. We'll test this real quick. If I hit save, I did. We'll do a quick test, and you'll see that everything still works just as it normally did. Boom, dead. Okay? I'm moving really quick because I'm running low on time because this only lets me go to 15 minutes. So what we're going to do is now we want to just remove this out of here, and we're going to put it right after. So if you say health right here, health minus equals 5, it's going to then do that just like normal, but then it's also going to just check if the health is less than 0, just automatically. You don't have to do the check. What else is cool is we can put whatever logic we want in here. So instead of manually updating this health bar, let's put that in here too. So now we can just simply say health minus equals 5, and the person object will just handle all the background stuff for us. We don't have to worry about it. So again, let's test this. Here we go. See, the bar is being updated. This is all being done with the property. And if you remember, we overrode the player. So boom, we get a player has died. There you go. That's properties. So yeah, we got a little override going on here. Enemy still has nothing, and it can now take damage and die with no code. And if you minimize this, you can see that there's really nothing going on here. It's just set the health at the beginning. If you push the button, they take damage, and if their health is less than 0, they're going to die. The end. I hope everybody enjoyed. I went really, really fast in that end. It's kind of simple, and it can be kind of abstract and complicated. If you liked it, press the like button, share it to your friends, get the word out. Properties are cool. And yeah, that's that. So later, dudes and dudettes.